This is your daily market review for Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024. Hopefully you're having a great day, had a great weekend, and let's get into it. So we're into earnings. We know the Feds have a meeting next week. We know the markets broke out. What are you doing? What am I doing? Well, me personally, I got stopped out of some positions that I was short on. Did okay on some of them. Some of them didn't win. Kind of tried to mitigate risk. And the only short I have going right now is financials and just watching the market. A lot of people are looking to jump back in. I'm going to be a little patient because, again, I know we have the end of the month, and then we also have a Fed meeting next week, and we're going into earnings. Now, we know earnings are going to be all over the place. I mean, seeing a lot of different perspectives from different companies come out. And again, I still think we're going to have a recession, and it's going to be bigger than people think because, again, the Feds never navigate soft landings. They're not good at them. They're really good at blowing bubbles and creating them. But the timing of things and how they all work, just got to be careful. And so, again, there's no certainty in trading. It's trying to do the best with what you can and take on the minimal amount of risk to get the maximum amount of reward. And so again, if you're a probability-based trader, you're looking at shorts, I get that, but also too, if you have longs and you have had them, roll them up. I mean, just be careful. The more you're up, the less you're own. So if you want to join the Discord room, link is in the description below. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the education series. Again, that's also on my website, thetradingagent.com. Get your 5.5% Marcus, get information about trading, real estate, the markets, all sorts of fun stuff, and also get your interactive brokers. I'm telling you, there's going to be brokerage issues at some point. Please, if you haven't gotten the books, use the links below. Check it out. I'm telling you, you don't need to master everything about trading. It's about understanding how the operators work, why volume and volume price analysis to me is probably the best understanding of how to put together trading formula for yourself. And then, let me know how I can help. Use the Calendly link. Should be at the bottom of the website. If you want to get in touch with me, please don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. So we know we're into earnings season, and like I said, I don't think there's a lot of economic information. I mean, I guess Friday you've got some of the PCE and personal income, and just be careful. Again, follow on Twitter because this is where it's getting sick. I mean, the markets are sick. I mean, you got manufacturing PMIs falling. DR Horton, exactly. I mean, I saw this when I went into new builds. I mean, they're offering a ton of incentives, and their margins are getting squeezed. Bitcoin starting to get a little weak. Again, it's getting kind of stupid. Again, Magnificent Seven bigger than any other stock market in the world by a lot. Be careful. That's all I can say out there. Again, do the best with what you can. Just be careful. And again, at this point, I don't think there's going to be a rate cut at all in January. Again, it's not happening. So the March meeting is what is vacillating everywhere. I mean, at one point it looked like we were going to cut, and then the next week now we're kind of in this 50-50. Just keep an eye on this. Use the link. Here it is. If you want to see me group, let me know how I can help. So again, Bitcoin, I hate to toot my own horn. And again, it's not about being right or wrong. It's just, I mean, I guess it is, but meaning like, I don't have an ego about it. I'll be wrong. I'll be right. And I told people this over and over and over. I really thought Bitcoin would struggle post what? Post the release of the Bitcoin ETFs, because everybody knew it. Everybody and their mom knew it. So at this point, we talked about a minimum of 20% pullback. You got that. Looking at support, I mean, there is some support here near term, obviously with some of the fibs. Let me just kind of redraw this. Yep, the fibs are not as much in play at this moment, but trend lines, I've said this and I'm on record. I thought if we did blow out, which I think we did, I think we still hit 32,000 at some point. Now, it's not going to be a straight line. There could be some up and downs, but personally, just be careful. Oil, as we talked about, there's probably higher lows because of the, we have to fill the SPR. At this point, I mean, demand destruction is real. China's talking about doing a stimulus. And again, we've talked about why their stimuluses are ineffective. People stop paying their debts. I mean, they can stimulate all they want, but it's not doing anything other than trying to keep businesses from going out of business, essentially. And what do we say about nat gas? We said it was a nice trade. KOLD was a great trade, up 115 plus short, got down to 70s, and now it's back up at what, near 110 again? The exact price at the close was 103. We got up to 111.36. If you're trading around it, I like it. But be careful. Again, natural gas is the widowmaker. Be careful. Again, know your risk, know your reward. Be thoughtful. Have a great, wonderful day. Enjoy your trip. No, I'm just kidding. Let's get into it. The dollar, as we talked about post ex-div, it's been holding up. China doing what it's going to do. TLT, as we talked about, right? Like, we knew this was an oversold rally was coming. We talked about where it could get to, and man, sometimes it's easy. One touch and done. Watch this 100 area, boom, flopped. Now, near term, there's a gap here. I'm just going to pull it to here. It could hold here. Again, I don't really have a position in bonds. I'm just watching them. The VIX, man, look at this, bringing it right back down. Impressive. And again, the risk reward going into the end of the month, going into the Feds. Are they going to slam this thing down? We'll see. Obviously they're trying to, but look at the VIX. It's all over the place. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Something's got to give at some point. SPY, again, it's hard to short up here, but look at the candles getting tighter. It's a fake breakout, in my opinion, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to fall right away. But here's the thing. If you want to go long, wait for pullbacks. If you're chasing this action, I think you're living dangerously. I hope it works out for you. QQQ, same kind of thing. Don't trust it, because here's why I don't trust the IWM. Look at this. Look at this donkey. It's probably gonna fill this gap at some point. Watch, and it's lagging. Remember, this is still 20% off the highs. Easy. Today's action, not really that strong. DIA, same thing, in the sense of just at new highs, chopping. Just ten cuidado. Gold, I got a lot of flack from people just saying, just be careful down here. Or not being down here, the silver and miners, yes. I don't think it's gonna break out until the Fed's pivot. We haven't seen the Fed pivot yet. That's usually when it does. Silver, same thing. I saw something about the SLV, someone buying 17.5 million shares. Again, I'm not saying short silver. I'm just saying be careful. Be late. Why wait? Why not wait? I'm saying. Because GDX, same thing, not really showing you. Now, again, support near term. Clear as day. Said watch the 27 area. It seems to be holding. Due for a bounce. The market's up, right? Holding up. GDX, same kind of thing. Holding the support zone around 34, 33. Again, I just don't think I personally would want to trade them. I just think there are easier trades out there, personally. AG, AEM, they all look similar. They just dropped quick, and now they're probably due to bounce a little. Oversold. Newmont, we talked about this thing, has just been a donkey. Fills the gap back at the lows. It's a good reference, again, for trading. If you want to trade it, go right ahead. I'm not opposed to people trading it. Just be careful. All right, let's get into tech. Taiwan Semi, we talked about their bogus. I don't know. Their numbers are hilarious to me, but we talk about, these gaps up on high volume. Red alert. Look at that last time. It dropped, went a little higher, then I still think this is the short of the century, in my opinion. Micron, no growth. But following the semiconductors, I know after hours, Texas Instruments not looking good. AMD, same kind of thing. These high volumes at the highs with these gaps, please be careful. NVIDIA, if you shorted and then you stopped out, you're just watching. I don't know what you got to be careful picking this one. Just watch for repeating patterns. Whatever it ends up being is probably going to be choppy. Intellectual property, again, we talked about this one being a laggard, getting that infused Israel money. We'll see what happens here. Again, semiconductors trading at valuations that make your nose bleed. Altitude sickness. Be careful. Be careful. No shit, AI is the future, but is it priced in? The same thing as Tesla when it went bonkers. It's like, Tesla's the future. It'll be the best car company in the world potentially. Yeah, and then since then it's been after that priced in, right? Interesting action with Adobe back testing a trend line. Keep an eye on it. Apple adding I don't know, was it 250 billion in market cap in like 5 days because they're going to sell some headsets. I mean, he said this yesterday. I mean, I would look, again, I'd be watching for shorts. Amazon chopping around. Meta, again, Zuck can't sell it fast enough and people just keep buying. Watch for chop tops. I know Snap's got earnings. I mean, it's earnings season. Just be careful. You're going to have to be careful. CRM, I mean, they gapped up on earnings. Look how much higher it went. This is starting to feel really exhaustive to me. This is probably the better short up where it's at. Google, we talked about them chopping around. I mean, all these names. It's like, all right, are they really going to break out? Is tech going to get even more expensive? Man, I'd be watching the 402 level on Microsoft. That's all. NDAQ, we talked about it hitting levels and flopping, chopping. Man, back up there. Sometimes this is part of the game. It's not easy. So, I mean, again, if you want to be late, don't hesitate. Don't be scared of that. MicroStrategy, we talked about this getting just destroyed. I talked about the gap up. Here's again another novice gap at highs with high volume. Gives it up pretty aggressively. Netflix after hours. Let me double check the price action. Yeah, 533. Wow. I mean, their numbers, they were okay, but their revenue's slowing. Again, I don't know. Meaning, like, you're investing in a dinosaur when you buy this stock. It's not like they have new amazing growth. Yeah, they're trying to get into Europe, but I don't see much. I mean, maybe you fill the gap at 570. That'd be pretty sick. But it makes sense to see what happens after hours. 533 takes you to a 1.382 fib. Again, be careful. 3-day rule in effect. Roblox. Talked about hitting range highs, rejecting. Tesla, do yourself a favor, please. Be careful going into earnings, whether you're long or short. If you're short, hedge your profits. That's all I'd say. Airbnb, we talked about this one being a great, again, a lot of these stocks trading around, trading up and down. Watch the zones. Costco, we talked about the whole China, getting into China. Okay, we'll see. I mean, maybe it's interesting it didn't hold up today because, again, something like Starbucks to me is like a global growth indicator. I mean, the stock is just acting bad. It's not good, y'all. FedEx chopping around. They post earnings, gap down, and just going a whole lot of nowhere quickly. However, this is how it goes sometimes, right? It's going to suck people in. To me, it looks like it's heading lower. It's just a matter of when. Caterpillar, man, really would love to see the trend line. Can't touch it until then. Nucor, we talked about failing up in the 170s plus so far. I mean, again, chopping around. Market holds up. Do not be surprised. Retest, retest, retest. X, again, I don't think will get bought out, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it can't go lower, right? I think the best way to describe it is they won't get bought by Nippon Steel, but there might be other bidders. So just be careful. VALE, we talked about another global growth name. Again, these material names. Ooh, China's going to do a stimulus. Okay. People are chasing these names. Just be careful. Arrow. Again, how long do they hold up? We'll see. I mean, I couldn't even get anything going. CCJ. Chop. Holding up better than others. CF. Multi-day range at the lows. Check this out. Right? Doji. Tight action. Someone's buying down here. It's just, I don't know how much upside there is. Mosaic. Same kind of thing. Chop at reference. NTR. Chop at reference. Getting some bounces. And if you zoom out on NTR, you can see getting below this 51. Is it a trap? Back testing the trend line and then going up? Maybe. How high? We'll see. Again, I'd love to see a retest later. Again, as we talked about, waiting for the Feds to pivot to me is the easiest answer. AA's been all over the place. I mean, again, a lot of these global growth names just look bad. XLF, we talked about the gift. Now this gap up, and now people say, well, why are you still short? Because to me, it makes the most sense, right? This isn't tech. This is literally everything going wrong in the economy. These are the guys holding the bag. JP Mo. Talked about this top. So far, so good. I said watch the 20-day. Any bounce back was a gift. You're getting it. Some gifts. Morgan Stanley. Gift if it bounces back. Bank of America. A lot of these have already gone through earnings, so that's why I don't think Bank of America has yet. Goldman Sachs has, though. But today you would think these things would be up, right? Look at yesterday's action. That looks very trappish. And KRE, again, Banks, what's going on? Somebody knows something. Said the no doubt fail zone. Well, your retest kind of tested it and see what happens. XBI, here's another one we talked about, like just chopping around. Hits resistance, failure. I don't know if you guys, where is it? XHB today, but Lennar, or no, sorry, DR Horton. I mean, I said this yesterday on the live chat. I mean, this is a gift to me, shorting these up here. Again, with tight stops. Be careful. And let's end it with oil and gas and solar. Solar, we talked about this. I mean, this has been the easiest short in the century. Getting down to some reference areas where it could chop. Sedge, same thing. Done. Chopping. Again, if you short it up at the levels we talked about, you're doing well. ENPH, same thing. Talked about being a turd. I mean, going into earnings, just be careful. First Solar, we talked about this one. It's just working its way down. But here you go. Near term, look at that. 100-day. Keep it on. I mean, again, if you want to short these names, just please do it on pops. Don't just chase. And we talked about, again, I'm not mind boggled, but I'm just amazed that people are dumb enough to buy corporate debt right now. We'll see. Let's end it with oil and gas. Again, we talked about the volatility within oil and gas is going to be really hard. Saudis are trying to cut prices, spur demand. UNG, we talked about, again, I don't like the UNG. I think the best trade is, again, shorting KOLD on major pops. That looks good. I don't know if we could go a little higher. I mean, it's a deteriorating asset. Set your alarm and layer in. That's what I would say. Just be careful. XOP, I don't think there's much downside in natural gas. Back testing the trend line. We talked about these names being incredibly volatile. CVE, I'm just popping through some of these. Pulls back, chopping, back at support. Just be careful. Valero, chop. Gasoline names, chop. Exxon, we talked about how to hold the 100 area. It broke down below it, but multiple days of chopping. Again, I mean, I'd rather just buy these names when everything blows out. NPC, we're like, everything's going to blow out. I'm like, it's more than likely going to happen. Oxy, the Buffett buy zone, it's just a gift. Just a gift. Last but not least, Flex LNG and AQT. Again, up at 44, we said it's going to have problems. And it has. And man, look at all that chop. Flex LNG. Again, I think we're really a natural gas exporter. All right. Again, if you have any questions about real estate, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm talking to people all over the country. It's talking about the different markets. I have friends and connections, agents all over. Love to help you out, whether you're buying, selling, or investing, looking for creative finance, whatever it is. Let me help you out. If I'm a referral, you get 2 agents for the price of 1. So hit me up if you have any questions. Talk to guys and gals later. Have a good one. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.